I am secretly going live on a Twitch account I never use, and I'm gonna stream for 24 hours, non-stop, no sleep. All right, as soon as I click this button, the stream starts. Hello, hello. I slept like crap last night. That's not how you want this to start. That timer is our gospel. Now, I'm doing this because I used to be one of the biggest streamers in the world, but my longest stream was only 9 hours. These days, all the big streamers are live 24/7, and I want to see if I can do it. Or maybe I'm just old and washed. I spent the first hour walking around the office, trying to be an IRL streamer. Kai Cenat in 60 years. Okay, fuck you, bro. Should I start saying controversial opinions just for a good clip? Originally, I wanted 0 viewers, a secret stream. So that's why I was on my Twitch account that I never use. This stream was going to get very embarrassing. I didn't want viewers, but they found me anyway. Hey, look, we need as few viewers as possible. I need those viewers to go to 0. Big Suck 19. What a name. Thanks for the sub, bro. But as we finished the first hour, the challenges were about to begin. Every hour, a YouTuber is giving me a challenge. Just halfway. I needed... Oh, it's McCreamy. Oh, look at that. It's McCreamy, guys. Someone give this man a hug. I have to. Look, we need as few viewers as possible. I need those viewers to go to 0. Big Suck 19. What a name. Thanks for the sub, bro. But as we finished the first hour, the challenges were about to begin. Every hour, a YouTuber is giving me a challenge just to give me some entertainment. Our first YouTuber was Lachlan, and he looked really depressed.
London, I think you suck at Fortnite.
Okay, fuck yourself, bro.
And that's why I'm challenging you to just win a game of OG Fortnite. Just like the good old days. Remember when we used to have fun?
Someone give this man a hug. I have to do it within the next hour. That's how these challenges work. I am winning my first game. Oh, shit. I did not win my first game. I was known as second time laser. 2-pump chump, exactly. Fuck! I did not win my second game. With each loss, the clock continued to tick. Oh yeah, 30 minutes left. All right, not looking good, bro. You might wonder what happens if I fail. I have to give 100 gifted subs. That's $600. If I fail all 24 challenges, that's almost $15,000. Oh, it's McCreamy. Oh, look at that. It's McCreamy, guys. He's out of retirement. Somehow, on this random Twitch stream, I still had stream snipers. Thanks to them, I got some easy kills. Thanks, bro. And they must really hate Lachlan because they carried me to the top 5. Is it just Laserbeam fans fighting right now? This is fantastic. I feel like this might be cheating. Shut up. Shut up. There's no cheating. Hey, thanks, McCreamy, bro. Thanks for coming out of retirement. Appreciate it. Victory Royale! Yes, that counts! We finished with 10 minutes remaining. No punishment. Our next challenge is from Jandal.
My challenge to you is to waste 100,000 Robux.
Yes, his challenge was just to waste $1,000. Awesome. I tried actually playing Roblox games. Poop a big poop. Should we play Poop a Big Poop? But instead of playing those games, I just gave the money away. Oh, well, congratulations to A Randoms. Oh my god, $1,000, 100,000 Robux has been given. But so far, so good. The clock was ticking down. My first 24-hour stream was going great. I had plenty of energy. These challenges will eventually get disgusting, but so far, they're pretty easy.
What up, you Australian man? My challenge for you, find yourself a kangaroo. You only have 1 hour.
Not every Australian has a kangaroo. That's offensive. You can't say that. What's that? This is purely a coincidence. I just happen to have one in my office. Yes, turns out finding kangaroos is very easy. And he also brought a wombat friend. I feel like I should say crikey. Yeah, look, Steak challenged me to get Australian animals. 1 phone call. We got it done. Thanks to my friend Chris from Wild Action Zoo. This was an easy challenge, but he had way more animals to show us. He had an echidna and a koala. Is it true that they have copious amounts of chlamydia? I mean, he's got a snake, doesn't he? He's got a snake. All right, cool. I feel unsupervised when he looks away. He also had a tiny little crocodile. I stuck my finger in its mouth like a true Australian. He had the world's biggest cockroaches, a turtle, a lizard that pissed on my floor.
Oh, he's pissing.
Bit of urine.
And lastly, a bat that knows tricks.
Whoa! Here you go. See that?
He just shit himself. This is legit what the average American thinks the average Australian family looks like. Yes, that challenge was awesome, but things were about to get much worse. Another hour, another challenge. We have 20 hours left.
Okay, laser beam. Laser beam.
Why are you saying it that way?
You know what I think you'd be really great at is TikTok dances.
What
So you
are
got
you
this.
talking
you got
about?
this, Lennon. This is the dance I've chosen for you.
There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking chance. What is it? It's like, how am I gonna do this? This is why it's a secret stream and we don't fucking tell anybody, right? This stays with us. Unfortunately, I didn't have 0 viewers. People were gonna watch this. Even Loserfruit was watching to make sure I did it correctly. But chat was being quite weird. No, don't say I'm such a good boy. You're making it fucking weird. Okay, is it less weird if Ilsa watches me do it? I think that's a good idea. Ilsa was here to determine if my dance was good enough or if I would have to gift 100 subs. You judge for yourself. I'm killing myself. My career is already on the ropes, bro. What would Ilsa decide? Was the dance good enough, or was I about to lose $600?
You told me I had to.
Don't do it. Think of how much the wedding costs. Okay, fuck me. Look how expensive that shit is. Man of his word. Man of his word. We got married since we filmed this. It's amazing she still walked down the aisle after seeing that. I had a lot of time left. I sat there reflecting on what I had just done. It was the first time in the stream where I had regretted going live, but we still had so many hours left. What else was in store? It is a new hour. We're 5 hours in. Time for another challenge.
Landon, when you came over the other night to touch me, I stole your credit card out of your wallet, so I got pretty drunk afterwards and just started ordering a bunch of shit on Amazon, so enjoy the packages.
To be clear, did not touch this man, and I'm not sure how it's a challenge, but they wasted $1,000 on Amazon items. I thought they'd buy funny stuff. Intelligent robot for children's painting enlightenment teaching. But turns out it was all just garbage. I don't even think it's like funny stupid. It just doesn't make sense. I was very bored until I finally unboxed a weapon. Now we're talking. But this is more like it. Yes, weapons make me happy. I immediately used this to smash all the other garbage. But luckily, I didn't hit this one. Reborn baby doll. Oh my god. It's a girl. I then went back to hitting stuff. Yeah, no, I think they just stole my money and ran. It was all garbage, but at least I got this child to sit in my background. Oh, all right. Yeah, 25% of the way through. 18 hours to go. Time for the next challenge. Some YouTubers submitted written challenges, but never recorded a video. So I had a special guest do it instead. It's my dad, Papa Beam.
Hello to my second favourite child.
What the fuck? Who paid him to say that? He's literally looking down to read a script right now.
Good luck with your stream today. I've been told to set you a challenge. I think you should beat Minecraft.
He has no idea what Minecraft is.
Whatever that means. But I think you can do it, son. Do me proud.
He's got so much belief in me. So yes, I have 1 hour to beat Minecraft. Otherwise, you know, gifted subs. Obviously, I stood no chance of beating Minecraft, so I just blatantly cheated. I definitely didn't have the boys go find a speedrunning seed that I can use. Yes, I tried using a speedrunning seed because all Minecraft YouTubers cheat anyway. But I still died. My solution was to hide my screen and cheat even more. I literally just flew to the end, spawned full netherite, and I just covered it up by claiming I was getting Discord messages and hiding my screen. Guys, I'm just sorry, I have to respond to a Discord message real quick. I entered the portal with 13 minutes remaining. Chat was not believing anything. 8-year-olds can beat this game, and so can I! Oh no, shit. Yes, I still almost died. Thankfully, I got more Discord messages. Wink, wink. Oh no, I gotta respond to this Discord message. Yes, I just went into creative and slapped the dragon until he had no health left. I did not want to give subs. Okay, sorry, I'm back. I'm sorry, I'm back. I was almost out of time. We got 3 minutes. Like one more hit and he's good. Yes! We did it! We did it! We did it! Now he's gonna jump in the portal and it's all over. Hey, no, chill. Holy shit, I almost lost it. Let's go! Obviously, that was complete bullshit. Yes, I blatantly cheated. I'm a massive piece of shit, but I gave them their gifted subs anyway. It is now time for our next challenge. The clock is ticking again. It's Power Alex.
Laser beam, laser beam, laser beam. I challenge you to a 1v1 on Fortnite.
Okay, this is gonna go good for me.
And now you may be thinking, how's that a challenge? Because it's not. You suck. We will be doing a 99-0 lead to you. So if you kill me once, it's over.
We bet each other $500.
No, I'll put 500. I'll do it.
We are racing to 100 kills. He has to kill me 100 times. I've only got to kill him once. Alex is the best player in Australia, and I suck. So it started how you'd expect. Oh, and you won't. You won't. Oh, you're scared, bro. Okay, but I've just got to get lucky once. Oh, 150! Okay, well, chat, we're cooking him. It didn't take long for all my confidence to disappear. Fuck! I scared him a couple times. Can't build there. Cringe. Oh! But it never quite worked out. This could have qualified as abuse of the elderly. Ah! It was basically an hour of getting punched in the face. Hey, Alex. What's your number say?
You're 30, bro.
I'm fucking 8 hours in. I'm about to fucking end. Fuck! I was tired, frustrated. It was almost over, but I still had a chance. 143.
Oh my god. Holy fuck. So.
Fuck! This was very embarrassing, but we decided to make the last round extra exciting. This is it, huh?
This is it, bro.
The last round was a pickaxe battle. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let the games begin. Oh, I think I got it. I think I got it.
No!
No,
you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You fucked up. You fucked up. Oh my god. I got it. I got it. I got it. You lost. You lost. You lost. You lost.
Fuck! All right, chat, there's no subs for you because I'm giving him the $500 if I lost. At this point, I wanted to quit. A literal child embarrassed me. But it's time for our next challenge. We're going to have to do this one shorter than we thought because we only have 27 minutes. This is a throwback to literally the most popular piece of content I have ever created. It's from Mao.
All right, what's up, Landon? You're probably in a terrible mood because Alex just absolutely destroyed you.
How the fuck do you know?
But I've got a challenge for you. I want you to find a needle in the haystack, and I mean literally. I'm going to set you up a haystack, I'm going to put a needle in it, and you've got an hour to find it. And if you don't, chat's going to get some gifted subs. All right, chat, this is the needle right here, and it's going into that haystack. All right.
Since I only had 20 minutes, chat let Lachlan help me.
I reckon we put our hands in until it sticks us.
Yeah, this actually sucked. Even with two of us, we quickly ran out of time. But I didn't want to quit.
Let me try and make a deal with these people. We could pivot the haystack to be a stream, long challenge.
So I ran a poll. It's pretty much unanimous, let him cook. The chat has decided. This challenge will now last for the entire stream. And any time I run out of stuff to do, I will continue looking for the needle. It won't be over until the stream is over. We have a side quest for the entire stream, and we are now 9 hours in. Lockie is going to continue searching for the needle. I am moving on to the next challenge. Here's our boy Zigzag. I'm assuming this is GeoGuessr related.
G'day Laserbeam, best of luck with the stream, my brother, and I have a challenge for you. Of course, it's got to be GeoGuessr related. I want you to go in GeoGuessr, pick a world map like this one, and get a perfect 5,000 point score, like I'm gonna do right now. Nope, not really. It's a little harder than it seems.
A 5k guess just means guessing exactly where I am in the world perfectly once. I'm definitely getting this. I'm good at GeoGuessr. I quickly realized maybe I suck at GeoGuessr. Brock Fabrique. Is Brock Fabrique in here? Dude, I'm not getting any of this shit. I'm just gonna guess Austria. We're gonna go 3,700, not good enough. Yes, I'm a moron. This was gonna be hard. I was failing a lot. Lockie's having a break from the needle. He ain't giving up though. I never find that fucking needle. But eventually, I got Australia, my homeland. Surely this would be a perfect guess. We're about to get a 5k. Challenge done. Fuck! Are you fucking kidding me? I was 5 points away, but luckily I got Australia again. I wasn't gonna mess it up this time. I searched around. I hunted for any signs. With just 15 minutes remaining, I locked in my guess. I think it's literally here. Yeah! I did it, no gifted. I finished early, so I went back to the haystack.
Got a snake. All right, cool. I feel unsupervised when he looks away.
You're halfway. Yes. I did for our next challenge. We're gonna have to do this one shorter than we thought because we only have... It's
perfect 5,000 point score. Like, I'm gonna do right now. Nope, not really. It's a little harder than it seems.
A 5k guess just means guessing exactly where I am in the world perfectly once. I'm definitely getting this. I'm good at GeoGuessr. I quickly realized maybe I suck at GeoGuessr. Brock Fabrique. Is Brock Fabrique in here? Dude, I'm not getting any of this shit. I'm just gonna guess Austria. I'm gonna go... 3,700. Not good enough. Yes, I'm a moron. This was gonna be hard. I was failing a lot. Lockie's having a break from the needle. He ain't giving up, though. Never finding that fucking needle. But eventually, I got Australia, my homeland. Surely this would be a perfect guess. We're about to get a 5k. Challenge done. Are you fucking kidding me? I was 5 points away, but luckily I got Australia again. I wasn't gonna mess it up this time. I searched around. I hunted for any signs. With just 15 minutes remaining, I locked in my guess. I think it's literally here. Yeah! I did it, no gifted. I finished early, so I went back to the haystack. No luck. 10 hours in. Officially my longest stream ever, but it's not enough. I need to go 24 hours. At this point, I thought there was no chance I finish. Luckily, the next challenge is from my favorite YouTuber, guys. Are you ready? Any guesses? It's Ilsa. Bad freeze frame. Sorry, sweetie.
Hi, Lannon. I miss you.
I miss you
feel like
too.
I haven't seen you in forever. So I figured for your next hour, we should go on a date.
Yes. I think she's done this for me as a mercy. And she said, this guy is going to need a break. Let's go on a date. Oh, my word. Would you look at you? You can't tell I dressed up for our date. I think if you sniff me enough, you'll smell koala. Most of this has been failure, but I can't fail this one. Yes, we had a professional chef, a beautiful romantic table. Don't worry, chat. You're third wheeling the whole way as we eat food. 10 hours in, I needed this.
Does that brag? It's the greatest thing I've ever experienced. Chad, I don't know how to talk to women. What should I say? Damn, girl. Are you a microwave? Because your skin is edible. Damn, girl. Are you a basketball court? Because I want to dribble all over you. I don't know if this is working, guys. Oh my god. I think I want to cry. Love. Oh, my thing fell, but love.
This was awesome, but our date was almost over. And I think Ilsa knew I needed some motivation.
Aw, look at that. That's cute. I'm gonna put this on my desk. And every time I struggle over the next 13 hours, I'm gonna get motivated by it. It's gonna be real bad if I don't do it now. You can do it. Yes, I can. I consider selling this for the right price.
The hour was up, and I had to say goodbye.
See ya. Nice meeting you. I'll see you guys in a second.
All right. I am trying to not sleep, but I slept like shit last night. Now that we have 13 hours to go, I am struggling. This is about to get brutal. We're not even halfway through yet, and I'm about to crash. I have this to motivate me now. It's time for another challenge, though. This is what I needed. Never back down. Never give up. Let's see what the goat says.
All right, Laser Beam, here's your toughest challenge yet.
Okay.
You got to keep it family friendly for 1 whole hour. Do not say a single curse word or the mods are coming for you. Never back down, never what?
Fuck that! Yes, chat, here's your subs. But I had so much time left, I decided to try the challenge anyway. Oh, this'll help. I also got my first delivery of caffeine. This is so fucking hot. Holy shit. Oh my god, no. Okay, now I'm going 46 minutes not swearing. This is gonna be boring as shit sometimes. I keep swearing, bro. I can't stop it. I quickly gave up. I can't stop swearing. 10 hours in, my brain was not working. I'm just having the rest of the hour off to drink a coffee. This was the first time in the stream I started hitting a wall. I'm alive. You all thought I was dead. Woo! Turns out Ilsa hadn't left and wanted to try finding the needle. Let's see if Ilsa finds it straight away, guys. Maybe the real date was searching through hay. We are officially halfway. I'm already cooked. I've always wanted to do a 24-hour stream. Maybe I just wasn't meant to do it. But I took one look at Ilsa's drawing and I was full of motivation. I was gonna do this. It was time for the next challenge. It's Mao again. Let's go. Yeah, some YouTubers never responded to us, so Mao had to come up with more challenges.
Challenge number 2 for you is I want you to get number 1 on Slither.io. I know back in the day you used to play a lot of Slither, so let's see if you still got it or if you're washed.
I could do this one. This seems like a dumb game, but I used to stream Slither to 100,000 people while waiting for Fortnite updates. You move around as a snake, eating other snakes until you're the biggest snake on the leaderboard. All right, we're playing Slither. If you're watching the stream, your job is to help me. It was a rough start. It's all right, guys. I decided to respawn. That one felt too easy. A very, very rough start. I did have a lot of stream snipers trying to feed me their snakes. Yes. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh my god, everyone's dying. I'm on the leaderboard already. But it was late and I was lacking brain cells. You're getting eaten. It wasn't going good. I spent the entire hour smacking my snake into other snakes and dying. I'm cooked, I'm cooked, I'm cooked, I'm cooked, I'm cooked, I'm cooked, I'm cooked. Fuck, man, you can tell it's 12 hours in. I was running out of time, but I got myself back on that leaderboard, and we gave it one final crack. Yes, guys. Yes, guys. Yes, guys. Yes, we're number 2. Come on, Ilsa, just die. Yes, Ilsa. No, beams. Fuck, bro, be careful. Holy shit, that was close. I gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here. I'm a fucking... There's too many laser people around me, not fucking dying. Yes, I spent the entire hour playing a stupid browser game and I failed. Very embarrassing. Ah, more subs. Ah. I spent a few minutes searching the hay with Ilsa.
Well, it is harder than it looks, I give you that.
At this point, we had searched the entire haystack and found nothing. All right, guys, time for the next challenge. Ilsa will keep searching in the background. The next challenge was from one of the nicest YouTubers in the world, and he knew this would be a late challenge, so he decided to go easy on me.
Hey everyone, this is Daily Dose of Internet, and Mr. Laser wanted me to give him a challenge, so I am challenging him to watch my videos for exactly 1 hour.
He's basically just giving me a chill hour, and he gets to self-advertise. This might have been the best hour of the entire stream. I was so happy. Despite how fun it was, the tiredness was still growing. Chat wanted me to finish the hour by searching the hay.
Who the hell is this random homeless bum next to Ilsa?
Once again, no needle. There's 9.5 hours remaining. I got distracted by the hay, but it's time for our next challenge. It's courage. My favorite. I love this guy.
Laser Beam, good day, mate. So excited to be part of this. I want you to donate $1,000 to a random streamer. Bonus points if you make them cry. Good luck.
He wants me to make people cry. I can't really fail this. So many of the challenges are just my friends forcing me to waste money. Such nice people. So I guess instead of giving you money, chat, I'm giving it to someone who actually deserves it. My team found this streamer. There wasn't many people live at the time. On Carrot. Okay, giving 200 subs. That is $1,200. And it's going to say Mao gave the subs, but it's because my card's not working right now. I will refund Mao later. There we go, 200 subs. Yeah, there we go. We gave him the money.
Oh my god! What the fuck? Like, this is a celebration. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey. Hey.
Okay. I just wanted to give him money. I didn't need this.
Use code LASER in the item shop.
Just cry, please.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Oh my god, bro. Mom, Laser Beam just gifted 200 subs, bro.
Yes, this is fantastic. This is exactly what I needed. I think we did the job. It's almost midnight, guys. It's almost a new day for us, huh? Is that poor Ilsa sleeping on the couch? Did you think that was fucking Ilsa? Sorry, I don't want to laugh at you, bro. The real Ilsa joined me for the countdown to midnight. A new day. 2, 1, 9 hours to go. The first challenge of this brand new day was going to suck. Here's my good friend Marcus from Wanted.
All right, Lennon, hope your stream's fun. I have a challenge for you to do as many push-ups as you can in 1 hour. Now, if you get less than 200 in 1 hour, I'm gonna assume you have a small PP.
Okay, that 200's a crazy amount. I could have just skipped the challenge and gifted 100 subs, but I got straight to work. I was determined to prove massive PP.
Let's just do 5 at a time. Let's go slow. That's 5.
I was slow but consistent. I had an entire hour to do it.
All right. That's good. I did work out with Chris Hemsworth once, though, so I'm trying to remember that. Like that I have that in me.
It might surprise you, but I am not an athlete. I am a nerd. But I powered through the first 66 push-ups, and then...
6, 7. This is probably the worst day of my life, I think, overall.
I do not have small PP. I was not gonna stop.
All right, 100.
Only halfway. I needed 200. I make it look easy, but it did start getting painful. I needed a reminder that I could do it. Ilsa's drawing was good, but I needed something stronger. The GOAT himself.
You know what? I'm so motivated right now. Oh, never back down, never what?
It was hard, but I was never backing down, never giving up.
I'm so close, bro.
Marcus said 200 was average PP, so I need 201 to be above average.
One more! Ah! Above average penis! 3.5!
I think that's below.
What?
I had succeeded. No gifted subs. Then chat weirdly demanded I take off my shirt. But 1 hour of physical exercise is not a good idea if you're trying to stay awake for 24 hours. But this next challenge should help keep me awake. It's one of the GOATs of YouTube.
G'day there, buddy boy. Laser Beam. I hope that your stream's going well.
It's not going well.
Since it's the middle of the night and you want to stay awake, I'm challenging you to make a giant cup of coffee. And I mean giant. Okay, have fun. Love you. Bye.
I love you too. So obviously I know he said this. Gonna help me stay awake.
He said it had to be a big one. This is our coffee mug. Right here. Got a lot of coffee. This is 88 cups of coffee. I might be awake just from sniffing this shit. So first I'm just gonna go. Oh my! It literally looks like I'm filling a plant pot with dirt. Ooh. Oh, it looks like tar. I just got a colonoscopy recently. This is honestly very similar to what the toilet bowl looked like.
Sadly, there was one small problem.
Isn't that decaf? Did you buy fucking decaf? You fucking morons! Everything's decaf! We set up to do this entire fucking bit with the world's biggest coffee, and it's fucking decaf! Bro, we're fucking 18 hours in! How am I meant to survive?
If it's not clear, decaf means there's no caffeine. This was a big problem.
I can tell you're nervous right now. I can tell you're nervous. Wait till that stream's off. Strangulation. No one tell Jacksepticeye that it's goddamn decaf. Look, I'm gonna fill this up enough where I can take a drink. I don't care if it's decaf. I'm having a sip. I might give it a little oat milk. You wanna see the oat milk go in?
I wanted to fill it up faster, so we plugged more kettles in. Then things just got worse.
I got no power. We just had a fucking blackout. What is going on?
Yes, apparently, we shorted the entire office. But we eventually got the power back, and we finished that decaf coffee.
Dude, come have a look inside here, man. Look at this. It might be decaf, but this is still the world's biggest cup of coffee. Mmm. Tastes like burnt arsehole. Man, I sure wish that was giving me some caffeine energy right now. I did that for nothing. How do I still have to give 100 gifted? Fucking coffee.
Yes, chat said it doesn't count because the coffee was decaf. They still made me gift the subs. I went through all of that and you still got the subs, huh? Sure wish I had caffeine right now. Let's go through the next challenge, guys. It's Mully, and I believe he recorded this video drunk.
Laser Beam, I'm at a nightclub right now and I love you.
I love you too, Mull. You had like so long to record this video, yet you waited for a nightclub.
And I want you to order the most expensive thing on Uber Eats. You can do this.
What's the most expensive thing on Uber Eats? And I guess while we wait for it, we could do the haystack, so that worked out great. Obviously, there's not many things open at 2 a.m. Like, we just go down the McDonald's menu and order one of everything. And we get a coffee. I hope that guy's got a big bicycle when he rides here. This is the card. And the the grand total, honestly, would have been almost better. The gift subs is $352. Honestly, not bad. While waiting for the Uber Eats, I searched some more hay. Ilsa had gone to bed, so I was alone and depressed.
I've wanted to quit this entire time. Honestly, since the moment I hit go live.
The order did eventually arrive. I honestly thought it'd get cancelled.
This was the most expensive Uber Eats order we could do. One of everything, I told you.
We got bags and bags and bags full of McDonald's, which included coffee. Finally, I'd have caffeine.
All right, well, GG guys. That was fun. Mission accomplished. No 100 gifted.
And I finally got the coffee I was craving. It did take a while for it to kick in, though.
Still here, but I wish I was.
But it's time for our next challenge. I think this was filmed the same night in the same place.
It's 3 a.m., Lanham.
It is 3 a.m., yes.
I want you to play Outlast 2.
Okay.
Okay,
No.
that was a message from Josh.
I am not good with horror games on a good day, let alone 19 hours into a stream. But one jump scare and I'm just buying gifted subs. If you know me, you know I hate horror games. But I decided to set the mood, turn off the lights. They had decided on Outlast 2. Apparently this game is scary.
This is already creepy.
What the fuck is that? How did I get here? I need this man right now. Praise the Lord. What the fuck? Why is the locker opening? Who's that guy? Who's that guy? What's this raising audio? I'm gonna watch it through the OBS. I don't like it. I watched it through the OBS. I think people that like horror games just weren't hugged as kids. You have trauma and go to a therapist. How did I get here? I need this man right now. Praise the Lord. What the fuck? Why is the locker opening? Who's that guy? Who's that guy? What's this raising audio? I'm gonna watch it through the OBS. I don't like it. I watched it through the OBS. I think people that like horror games just weren't hugged as kids. You have trauma and go to a therapist. You don't need horror games. Could this look more like Fortnite, please? Is that doll staying still? You being good over there? If it was not obvious, I'm a massive coward. I was trying to look away as much as possible. Fuck this game. Fuck this game, bro. I don't like it. When can I stop? When can I stop? I want to go home. Chat said, so long as I get one jump scare, I don't have to gift subs. I'm really bad at puzzle games. Oh, I gotta crawl through here. Okay, sorry guys. I'm really bad at stuff. What the? Fuck off. Only freaks play horror games. Only absolute freaks play horror games. That was terrifying, but it does mean I didn't have to gift subs, which means I was successful, I guess. Plus, my adrenaline was pumping. That's good for staying awake. I think our next challenge is also gonna help keep me awake. We only had 5 hours to go. These were the grind hours.
Mr. Laserbeam, do I have a challenge for you? Yeah, I want you to go plunge yourself into an ice bath. I don't care.
I'm never speaking to Winter again. We filled the ice bath with cold water and a bunch of ice.
There ice in it?
There is ice in it, yeah.
Hey guys, Chug Juice. Use code LASER, 10% off game subs.
This was gonna suck, but it would definitely keep me awake.
Oh. Honestly, it's only 2 bags of ice and that sucked. I don't know if it's like the sleep deterioration, but that felt bad. Alright, challenge done. No subs.
I spent the rest of the hour trying to get warm, sitting there yapping, complaining. My throat is completely cooked. I do not think I can talk much longer. Some YouTubers were trying to help me stay awake, and some YouTubers gave me challenges designed to put me to sleep. Like our next challenge from Kalis.
What's up, Laserbeam? My challenge for you is to play the Coconut Simulator game. Good luck, have fun.
If you don't understand why that's outrageous and why Kalis is cooking me here, just wait till you see this game. The Coconut Simulator. This is known as the most boring game in the world. It would almost certainly put me to sleep, but luckily for me, the game was broken. So chat let me search for the needle instead. I got lucky.
This is my happy place, I think, anyway. Sitting on the floor, surrounded by hay.
We had still found nothing. I was starting to worry I would never find it. I was getting more and more tired, losing more and more brain cells. The challenges were getting dumber and dumber. 3 hours left. We got the next challenge. Mr. Mike Malak. Love this guy.
Oi, Laser!
Crikey.
What's up, mate? You're almost done. You're almost in the clear. When I used to smoke crack back in the day. I used to be up late at night, and I
Right,
found sunrises to be particularly calming for me. So I'd like you to go.
3 hours left. We got the next challenge. Mr. Mike Malak. Love this guy.
Oi, Laser!
Crikey.
What's up, mate? You're almost done. You're almost in the clear. When I used to smoke crack back in the day, I used to be up late at night, and I found sunrises to be particularly calming for me. So I'd like you to go watch the sunrise right now, dude. Go check out the sunrise, sit, and peacefully enjoy the completion of this mission, man.
I don't know if I'm making it to the sunrise. The sunrise was still 30 minutes away. We're so close, but yeah, I may collapse. Just staying awake to see the sun was gonna be a mission in itself. This was probably the worst I felt the entire stream. Guys, I admit this is becoming a even rougher stream. I'm battling demons. But some fresh air might do me good. So we eventually went walking, and I was filled with new life. Feels good to be outside. I'm wide awake now. The only downside, there wasn't really anywhere good to watch a sunrise. I'm sorry, Mike, there's no good vantage points, but being outside, feeling the fresh air, it gave me life. Oh, feels good. Touching grass. I did get IRL stream sniped while looking like a zombie. I had an entire hour to spend outside. I sat there, looking at the city, reflecting on everything. I was so tired, I was probably hallucinating unicorns and fairies and things. The sunrise sucked, but it was a nice moment. But then, I had to return to the setup. We still have 2 challenges remaining. It is now daylight outside. We're almost done. I love you, Vic, but what was that pause?
Lannon, well done for making it 23 hours in. What I would now like you to do is take an IQ test. See if you're smarter than this guy right here.
Really? You want to test my intelligence? This will not be an accurate representation of my brain cells. This is from Mensa. This is like an actual IQ test. This is like a nerdy one. It was all a bunch of garbage about pattern recognition. From 22 hours in, I'm looking at shapes. These are all things that you want your brain functioning at max capacity for. And my brain was literally melting. Guys, I'm fucking hooked. You know this. Some of these hurt my head, bro. Let's just hit finish and get my IQ. 105. Even with severe sleep deprivation, above average IQ. Since Ralph the dog did not take the IQ test, I believe I am smarter than him. Challenge complete. Ilsa had returned for the final hours after getting some sleep, but she didn't do it for me.
I was dreaming of hay and needles.
Yes, we were running out of time. This was our last chance to find the needle. After this pile, we have officially checked the haystack twice. So I'm giving up. I'm just gifting the subs. I was hoping for a good result. Something to fill me with joy in the final hour. But there was no happy ending. I had failed. That's it. We checked the whole haystack twice. It's here somewhere, we just can't find it. I finally had to admit complete defeat. That's actually heartbreaking. All right, that's the rest of the subs. I failed the haystack. But the haystack was a side quest. Our main mission was to stay awake, stream for 24 hours, and our final challenge was truly going to test that. I wanted it to be Mr. Beast, but I didn't get a response in time, so it's Mr. Mao again.
I heard you're in your final hour. You've been awake for 23 hours, and there is only one thing on your mind. You want to sleep, you want to end stream, so I'm going to do the most evil thing I could possibly think of. Get yourself a blindfold, close them eyes for 5 minutes, and don't fall asleep.
This might seem easy, but if I fall asleep, I not only lose 100 gifted subs, I fail the entire stream. Everything I wanted to do was for nothing.
That's gonna be bad, man.
Ilsa tucked me in for my biggest challenge yet. All I wanted to do was sleep, and it was being dangled right in front of me. But I couldn't drift off. If I fall asleep, everything is for nothing. The entire stream was wasted.
Go.
Good night. I was so sleep deprived, as soon as I closed my eyes, I could feel myself drifting away. I just tried to keep talking to keep myself awake.
This is really bad.
The clock was ticking, and at this point, it honestly looked like I was gone. Chat thought I was cooked. I tried to keep talking to prove I wasn't asleep.
I can feel myself fighting from the brink of sleep, but I think I'll be okay.
There was only 40 seconds left. At this point, I can't even tell if I'm asleep. Was I asleep or was I awake? We will actually never know, because when the clock hit 0, they decided to use a big horn.
I ain't asleep. That was like heaven. That's all I've been craving for like 23 hours. Dangled in front of my eyes.
I don't believe I fell asleep, but who knows? Regardless, the final challenge was done. Perhaps my biggest obstacle. All that was left was to wait for the timer to hit 0. We're on the home stretch, guys. The daylight was helping. Sunny day. That was good. That was like getting flashbanged.
30 minutes to go.
Have you got any more challenges?
The final challenge is to stay awake and finish the stream.
I technically could still fall asleep and fail. I really wanted to sleep. Thank you, chat. I wanted this to be a secret stream on this Twitch account that no one knows I even have, but you guys found me anyway, and I love you. We did it together. There was 1 minute left. The stream was almost done, and it was time to celebrate. The final minute! 30 seconds! 3, 2, 1! 24 hours! I can stream! I ain't fully washed! Yes, I can! Yes, I can! There are many harder things in this world than streaming for 24 hours straight. But it's something I had never done before. Something I didn't think I could do. Being awake, doing constant challenges, sometimes suffering. I wanted to challenge myself in a way I had not for many years. But there was one thing left to do.
My dad happened to be visiting the office. We were going through the haystack because I wanted to find that needle. Pick it up. Show him what you found, Dad. He found the needle. He searched for 6 seconds. Mission accomplished.
You probably can't tell the difference between those two images, but the computer can. The image on the left is 14.6 megabytes, and the one on the right is compressed to 1.8 megabytes. They look the same to me. So if you use compression on a given disk, you can fit a ton more images or videos or whatever it is you're compressing than non-compressed. And same goes for LLMs. This right here is a Mac Mini with 16 gigs of memory. And this one is my daily driver with 128 gigs of memory. I can run pretty decently sized models on the big boy here, or even on these with 512 gigabytes of memory each. But on this one with 16, I have to be very picky about what I run. For example, a really popular model set that just came out is Qwen 3.5. This whole family of models is really performing well. Look how many downloads in the last month. And I really want to run this 9 billion parameter model on this Mac Mini. Well, guess what? The full thing is actually 19.3 gigabytes. And you want to be able to fit the whole model inside the memory, and we just won't be able to do that here. Well, this is the full BF16 unquantized version. What does that mean? It's not compressed. That's why people started compressing different things here and there. And TurboQuant helps with that. Now, before TurboQuant came about, we had different ways to handle compression. We had quantizations. So for example, BF16 is like a floating point 16-bit models. The weights for the models are basically a bunch of numbers, and they're 16 bits. Not only do smaller quantizations take up less space on disk, but when you load those models up into memory, they decrease the memory requirement, allowing you to run it on smaller hardware. But you still have this KV cache issue, which also requires memory. So for example, here is the same model, 9 billion parameters, 8-bit, and that one is only 10 gigabytes. We can go even smaller, 4-bit. That one's 5.98 gigabytes. Well, just like with those images I showed you, sometimes the models and their compressed versions don't vary too much in quality, but sometimes they do. For example, if you go too low here, let's take Bartowski's quantizations. He's got all these different ones. Look, Q8, 8-bit, 6-bit, 5-bit, 4-bit, 3-bit, 2-bit. Now, I'm sure these work, but they're not going to give you the best results. Sometimes the LLM gets into a loop where it just spits out garbage. Usually, quantization of 4 bits is probably the lowest you'd want to go. And if we take a look at this one, it's 6 gigabytes. Well, you'd say, oh, 6 gigabytes fits no problem on this Mac Mini. But wait, what about when you actually run it? I'm using 77 out of 128 gigs on this machine. Jeez, that's a lot of gigs. I'm gonna load up this model, and now I'm up to 84. Huh, that doesn't add up. That's because we need to reserve more memory for context and for cache. And this was only 4,000 context length, which is not very useful. This model supports way more than that, so let's crank it up all the way, reload, and now we're suddenly up to 92 gigabytes. And that's without even running any prompts at all. Hi, I know you all love that prompt. but let's see how that affects our memory. We're still good, 92. What if we send in a really long prompt? This prompt is about 17,000 tokens. Let's send that in. Look at that. Processing prompt, it's taking a little while. Even on this powerful M5 Max MacBook Pro. And look at our memory. We suddenly have a little bit of a spike there. And there it goes, printing out the answer. I'm gonna paste in the same prompt again. And what happens here is the entire conversation is sent in again for processing. Not just my prompt. But when the LLM is generating text, it doesn't reread the entire conversation from scratch for every token. Instead, it stores key value pairs, the KV cache. These are basically mathematical summaries of every token it's already seen. Think of it as like short-term memory, and it lives inside the memory alongside of the model weights. With every token, KV cache grows and fills up memory. Now, quantization solves for the model weights and shrinks them down, whereas TurboQuant, this new amazing thing, actually works on the KV cache and shrinks that down. This is one of those free Wi-Fi everywhere situations, which sounds great until you remember that everyone else is on it too. That's why Surfshark gets switched on before I do anything else. One click and my Git pushes, SSH sessions, and package encrypted tunnel. In the meantime, clean trackers, all that stuff you don't need. RAM only, so a reboot wipes everything. The feature I like most is unlimited devices. This MacBook, my phone, and the rest of my gear are all covered without me thinking about it. SSH sketchy on public Wi-Fi. Go to surfshark.com/Alex. Get 4 extra months free, plus a 30-day money-back guarantee. Stay private, stay productive. And now back to the video. Now, TurboQuant might not necessarily help you out on a system with a lot of memory, but it will help you out on a system with a little bit of memory. And the amount of noise this MacBook Pro is making is just crazy. Listen to that. That's crazy. You're done with your job. What are you doing? Chill out. Cheesy jokes. You might have heard about TurboQuant recently. It's making some waves, but whether it's gonna be a thing or not, we'll see. So far, the experiments are promising, and you can check out the official Google research paper there. I did my own experiments though. Llama CPP, a very popular project, lets you run LLMs locally. It's pretty cool. They have not rolled in TurboQuant just yet. So far, it's a community effort. Here's one very popular one on GitHub by The Tom, TurboQuant Plus. You can go grab this, run it yourself. Basically, it's a fork of Llama CPP that implements TurboQuant. Now, my initial tests with this were pretty bad. I tried it out on the M5 Max, I tried it out on the M4 Mac Mini, and the KV cache space savings were present already, so that's good. Here's the context depth scaling. I went all the way up to 32K. The problem that I saw was that both prefill speed and decode speed suffered a lot. Also very model dependent. For example, I started out with Qwen 2.5, an older model, then I did Qwen 3, 8B, and they all kind of showed similar results. As far as Turbo 3 and Turbo 4, there's 3 different variants of TurboQuant. Turbo 2, Turbo 3, and Turbo 4. Turbo 2 is the most aggressive one that's supposed to squash it 4 times. Turbo 3 about 2.5 times, and Turbo 4 about 1.9 times. Then I ran Qwen 3.5 35B, which is a mixture of experts model, not a dense model, and I ran it on this one. It's a 34 gig model. Obviously, it's not going to fit on the Mac Mini. And that performed the best as far as squashing that KV and not losing too much on the speeds of decode and prefill. However, it still was slower. I was like, okay, well, I suppose it's worth the penalty if you're going to be getting such savings in compression. But it wasn't over. Tom Turney worked on it a little bit more and gave me some hints. The way I was running it was not exactly the best way to do it. I was running it symmetrically, so K and V can actually be turboed separately. When I ran it, I applied Turbo 4 or Turbo 3 to both the K and the V equally. That's called symmetric when I applied it to both. And Tom suggested I use Q8 for K and then the Turbo one for the V part, which would be considered an asymmetric approach. And then if you want more aggressive, you'd still keep Q8 for the K and you would use Turbo 3 for the V part. On the Mac Mini, loading up the Q8 version with 131,000 context window just crashes. However, Turbo 3 runs 131 31K contacts comfortably with 3.6 gigabytes to spare. Same model, same machine, Turbo gives you 2 times more usable context. And I tried different context length, 32K, 65, 131, and at each level we saw a huge difference in the number of gigabytes that were chomped up. And this chart shows a little bit of a breakdown.
Stands for good. So these days Google is known for Chrome OS and Android, but have you ever heard of GOS, a Linux distro based on Ubuntu that incorporated a lot of Google apps and services? I hadn't either until a viewer sent me an email about it recently, and perhaps the most interesting thing about it is it wasn't actually made by Google. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So GOS was just a little blip on the Linux radar that sprung up in 2007 and aimed to be an operating system centered around Web 2.0. So you've got shortcuts to Gmail, Google Calendar, Docs, Maps, YouTube, Blogger, a lot of Google stuff. But the G in GOS actually stands for good. Although I think it's kind of meant to associate it with Google without, making it seem like it was made by them. And this is not to be confused with Google's internal use Linux distro called Gubuntu, which was later replaced by G-Linux. GOS was only around for a couple of years, with the latest version being released in early 2009. So in today's episode, I'm going to take you through a few versions of this distro, and we'll explore how it changed over its very short lifespan. And if you want to take a look at these yourself, you can download the ISOs from archiveos.org. They've got a page over here with some information about it, and they do have a handful of ISOs available. Not all of them, but you've got the first release, the very last release, and a couple in between. We're going to go through all of these four today, of course starting with the initial release, version 1.0.1. But the really cool thing is you weren't able to just download this from the website. There was also a computer sold at Walmart that came pre-installed with it. At the time, the tech press started calling this the Google PC, or the almost Google PC, and this is actually what the viewer who first emailed me about this was mainly talking about. This was a sub $200 computer that sold very, very quickly. According to this Desktop Linux article, Walmart bought 10,000 of them, released it on November 1st, and by the 15th, they were already sold out. But they also had a version that shipped with Windows Vista that had double the RAM and apparently a much faster processor. I mean, 1.5 gigahertz from 1.5 megahertz? You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, of course, this is a lovely typo here. But yeah, the Windows Vista one shipped for around $100 more. And you can see it is a little bit of a different design as well, but you still got, a set of speakers and a keyboard and mouse with it, no monitor included. But, $200, not even, for a whole desktop computer was pretty fantastic. Both of these were manufactured by a company called Everix, who would later go on to make a couple of laptops and even a mini PC that also ran GOS. So this is one of those rare Linux distros that actually had a line of hardware to go along with it. And if I can ever track one of those machines down, you bet I'm going to make a video on it. But for now, let's dive into the operating system itself. So the first version of GOS was based on Ubuntu 7.10, and it was released on November 1st, 2007. And it came on a live CD. I've already gone through the installation process, but it was pretty much identical to what you would see on a regular install of Ubuntu that was available at this time. However, the desktop interface itself is very different. It utilizes the Enlightenment window manager as opposed to GNOME. And you see we have a dock down here, we got your icons right here, a Google search bar at the top right, and then what look like a couple widgets here on the sidebar. This is a clock, and this is just your network status indicator. It shows your current network connection and your IP address there. And with this whole operating system being focused around Web 2.0, the vast majority of these shortcuts in the dock just open up various websites. So you've got Gmail, Meebo, which will later be acquired by Google, Google News, Calendar, Maps, Google Docs and Spreadsheets, Google Product Search. Then you have some non-Google things like Facebook, you got Wikipedia, Skype. Although you do have a couple of desktop applications in the dock as well. You have a movie player and Rhythmbox. Tech support opens up a web browser. I mean, you can see that Google is the primary focus of this entire operating system. Though, there is this little menu here on the left side. You can open that up, go into applications. And there is a good selection of apps in here, even some GNOME applications, especially under games here. But you've also got things like GIMP. You've got OpenOffice. You got the rest of the suite here under the Office tab. You've got a CD/DVD writer. Internet, you can see, is one of the larger categories, mostly Google stuff in here. All this is pretty much pinned to the dock with the exception of Mozilla Thunderbird and the Pigeon Instant Messenger. And this menu can also be accessed just by left-clicking on the desktop, and you can also right-click to get access to your favorites menu, which is also in this menu here in just the regular left-click menu. So this can be changed if you go into configuration. And as you'll see, like when we open up Windows and stuff, the theme they've got applied here is very, very Mac-like. My immediate thought was, oh, this is just Aqua with some green accents. I mean, it is a little bit different, obviously, but it definitely reminds me of that. Under menus and favorites menus where you get access to be able to change everything in there. So if I want to just, remove Facebook and Blogger and add maybe, let's see, database, you got openoffice.org, we can add that, hit OK, close out of it, and now if you right-click, there you go. So we can open up that right from there if we want to. There is also a file browser, not surprisingly. We can make this a little bit larger here. Again, the icons and everything just kind of give off a Mac OS vibe to me. But you can get access to your home directory from here. So it's not strictly something like, the early Chrome OS versions where it was like just the web browser and you couldn't really access, I mean, you could, but it wasn't really easy to access the, file system and all that. It kind of feels almost like the later versions of Chrome OS, just to make that comparison again, where you now have more of a traditional desktop interface, which I think is pretty cool. You got your Google search bar up here. Let's go ahead and do a search for Michael MJD. And of course, this is, this browser is so out of date that it's not even going to be able to display really anything properly. Now, this, it looks like it opens up in a embedded browser window here. This is something that we will see in later versions of GOS, but it's not the case when you open up like Gmail and stuff from down here. These all just open up in regular Firefox tabs. Also, the version of Firefox, if you're curious, is version 2.0.0.8. I imagine probably the latest version for Linux that was available when this thing was released. Now, these widgets over here on the right side actually work through the same program that the dock is using, but the dock is actually like one widget, and then you've got a separate widget for the menu over here, and this can all be configured in the configuration, obviously, under, I believe it is Windows, no, it's under extensions. Yeah, you got shelves here. So shelf 1 is the dock, shelf 8 are the widgets on the side, so we'll configure the widgets, configure contents, and you can add, whatever else you want. So, I mean, right now you've got the network indicator thing, you've got the clock, you can add the battery indicator, which of course isn't going to really matter for us. You've got a CPU gauge there, a temperature, so we can add all that. Go ahead and apply. Oh, I just actually changed the size of them there, apparently. Actually, how did I just change the sizing of them? I didn't want to do that. And the layout, yeah, this moves it up there, obviously, and now we can't... Okay, we gotta just, I guess, go in here and manually set it back to there. And then the size, yeah, we want this to be like much larger than it was. Okay, there we go. That looks a lot better. So you got some advanced settings. It's just that like huge here as a size was actually a lot smaller than what it was. So we can close out of that. Now shelf 1, if we go into configure and contents, you can see that you've got start, iBar, and iBox. iBar is the dock. Under applications, you've got iBar applications, and then this is where you can go in and we could remove Gmail and Meebo if you want to, and now they will be gone. But yeah, a lot of customizability, and we haven't even gotten into the theme yet, by the way. You can go in here and change that. I haven't actually looked to see what these other themes look like, but here's Bling. So that totally changed the, oh wow, okay, yeah, the menus are like way different now. Look at that, with this like effect going on when you hover over everything. The spacer here, it just looks really off. And yeah, I mean, the icon stayed the same, the Google search bar up here stayed the same, so now that kind of looks out of place. I don't even know, like, was this theme supposed to be in here? I feel like it wasn't, because it just doesn't go with anything that they have. We'll just go ahead and change it back. It looks like GOS 2 is probably just the same thing as the default theme. Yeah, I mean, this looks exactly the same. It's probably just the default theme is like a separate entry in here. So there you go. And also one other thing, this did support multiple desktops. You can go here under desktop, virtual, configure virtual desktops. We could add another one if we want to. And then you can change desktops by just going in here and changing over to desktop 1, and you see it takes the search bar away. I would imagine that a lot of this stuff, like if we want to on desktop 1 here, get rid of this and then switch back over to desktop 0. Oh no, that actually takes effect across both of them. Okay, so that's interesting. But yeah, it supported virtual desktops, and honestly, like, there's just a lot of customizability in this operating system, which I really like. So that is the very first version. Our next release, this happened in early 2008, and this is actually a beta version of 2.0. It still uses the Enlightenment desktop window manager, but it changed some elements around. So you can see we have a new dock down here, definitely a more macOS-like dock with the zoom in animation as you hover over everything. There is a virtual desktop switcher up here at the top, and the gadgets in the search bar are gone, at least by default. What has not changed, though, is the dock still has a bunch of Google stuff pinned to it, although you do have a shortcut to Box.net now, and new icons for the movie and music player, though they are the same applications that were in the previous version. However, they did remove that little shortcut that would open up this menu from the dock, so now you have to just left-click on the desktop to get to it. You can also right-click to get to your favorites menu. And this one, admittedly, I did not mess around with as much as I did the previous version, so I'm curious to go in here and see, like, if we can modify the dock here, which it looks like we can. So this is iTask NG now, and we can change the zoom range and the zoom duration. We can change, yeah, here's the icon size, so we can increase the size of the dock. We can have it up top or maybe to the right if we want to. Although on the right, it doesn't actually show everything. We'd have to change the icon size, but we'll have it at the bottom. You can also add a taskbar because there's not one by default. So if we want to add one to, you know, like be able to see what applications are open, like if we are in Firefox here, we'll just cancel all this stuff and just resize the window. You can see there's no like indicator in here at all that Firefox is running, but if we add a taskbar, you can see over here, this is our list of running applications. And let's see if we can change this. Like, can we change just that over here? No, that moves the whole thing. So can you not, I guess you can't have the taskbar be like just on the top of the screen or, you know, in a separate location than the dock. It looks like it's attached to it. But admittedly, you don't really need a taskbar because 90% of what you're going to be doing is just in Firefox, because all these shortcuts still, like if you go to YouTube, it opens up Firefox. Oh, we got an Enlightenment error. This is very bad. You got this like early classic macOS looking error message here. I guess we'll say recover. Yeah, again, this was a beta, so you know there's bound to be bugs and stuff in it. So that's how you change the dock. Can we like drag stuff off the dock? Like, okay, yeah, we can do that. So just like macOS, you can get rid of stuff. Can we add things to the dock? I don't think we can. Some things that remain are the file manager. So you've got this this same thing going on. We can go into MyGOS and you got your same icons and everything there. I'm actually not sure if the widgets that we saw over there on the right in the previous version are still here, but let's go into configuration and find out. Now the settings menu here is pretty much identical to what we saw before. It's going to be under, I believe, what was it, menus or no, extensions. So here's shelves. I imagine like this is probably on a shelf down here. Like, let's see what this is. So we've got pager. That's probably the top thing up here. Like, let's go ahead and remove that. Yeah. So that's a shelf up there. Shelf number 2 maybe is the clock over here. Yep. And so shelf 3 is going to be the dock, which is just going to contain like a single, iBox. So this is the dock again, the icon box gadget. So we can add a new one and go into here, configure. We'll move it over here actually I want to go to, where's the advanced configuration? Yeah, we'll move it over here and then go into contents. It's got the pager and the iBox again, but we don't have as many gadgets to add. So we've got the clock, which I guess is just, I think, that's the same thing that was up here. It's just not going to really show properly now because it's on the side and it doesn't like adjust orientation automatically. And then you've got this navigation thing. You've got EFM path. Let's maybe move this to the top so that everything displays properly. And that is a lot of white space, like my gosh. But yeah, it looks like, these are just navigation buttons. Well, I think we saw those in the file manager too. Yeah, that's exactly what they are. So I don't think these do anything just on the desktop, but I guess maybe the file manager is utilizing the shelves to display this properly. That's actually interesting. In fact, you can see it's overlapped on top of the address bar, but it doesn't look like you've got as many gadgets as you did before. However, gadgets will make a reappearance in a later release. Not the next one though, but oh boy, did the next one really change up the formula. So this right here is version 2.9, or the space release that came out in April of 2008. And as you can see, it gets a whole UI redesign. The dock is different, the wallpaper is different, we have a menu bar now. It uses GNOME as the desktop environment, so you can no longer like left click on the desktop to get to that menu. Right clicking is now just a regular context menu. But the really bizarre thing about this one is, you might be able to tell from some of these icons, this is a MySpace centered release of GOS. So hey, I guess if you ever thought it would be cool if there was a MySpace focused operating system, well, there was one. So if you go in here, you've got all these shortcuts to various MySpace pages. You've got MySpace news here under this category. You can see you've got like a Mac OS X stacks thing going on with all of these shortcuts down here now. And you do still have all of the Google stuff in here that we had before. It's just not as prevalent now. But to get to like the whole list, you have to go up in here to applications, internet, and then here's all the rest of the Google stuff. Though you can see most of them do not have icons like they did before. So that's interesting. You do still have your list of games in here. We're slowly adding more and more programs, so there are some things in here you didn't have before. Like now you've got a sound recorder and sound juicer CD extractor and this audio CD creator. You still have OpenOffice, but they have definitely doubled down on making the thing look like Mac OS X. I mean, even this music icon here looks like the iTunes icon. As we open up stuff, like if I go to Firefox here, I mean, this theme is so Mac OS like it's not even funny. I mean, they've really done a good job at mimicking that. If this was even like their theme that they created, it could have just been something that they just downloaded and used. But I mean, like even these scroll bars here look very Aqua. Also, with the switch over to GNOME, they changed the file browser as well over to Nautilus, which is just a much better inclusion. I think that the previous one was kind of lame and, a little bit funky at times just using it. This is a more traditional looking file browser. You got a sidebar. It's a much larger window by default. And you can see here in the dock, there is now a taskbar built into it. So we've got this window here. Since I've got the file browser opened, I can minimize it to the dock, though there's not a maximizing animation. It just comes back up, but there is that little one for minimizing. We can of course maximize the window. We can close it from up here. You've got your like little traffic lights, window controls, though they all just are the same color. Again, I'm just not over how much that this looks like Mac OS X. That's really the look they were going for, I guess. But where it differs is like the menu bar up here is not really a menu bar. I mean, yeah, you can get access to this main menu here, but all of the menus for the different applications you're in are still contained within those windows, so nothing shows up here. And then you do have a system tray up here with your calendar and your volume controls. There's a search function and your network status there. I have not actually gone in to see if there are any different themes in here, so let's see. There are. Okay, so we've got, although some of these just look like regular looking GNOME themes. In fact, yeah, this right here is just the regular Ubuntu theme. So we can change over to that if we want to. And you see that just really changes the design. Although, did it change the trash icon? I think it did. Yes, it did. Okay, so yeah, some of the icons do change, but you know, this dock here is like its own separate thing. The menu bar up here does not change at all either, except for the system tray, of course. But this is just their GOS theme, which is, although there's two of them. Are these any different? I don't think they are. They look exactly the same. But I just can't get over the MySpace-centered aspect of this. I mean, it's cool, I guess, if you used MySpace a lot and wanted to really, you know, have a system themed around that where you just had easy access to the various, you know, parts of the website. But it just really seems way out of left field, considering that they were just really Google focused prior to that. And they became Google focused again after this, because version 3.1, the final release from early 2009, goes back to the way that things were in the earlier two versions, although you can see that gadgets make a reappearance. However, these are now Google gadgets that you could have gotten through Google Desktop, which I made a video on back in like 2020, I think. So there's a lot more that you can choose from. This also utilizes GNOME instead of Enlightenment, so we have your menu bar up here, you have your regular context menu, and the dock has also changed once again. This looks more like it did back in the 2.0 beta version. Another big change is that now when you open up some of these applications, like Gmail for example, they open up in Mozilla's Prism embedded web browser, which just pretty much displays that one page, so they don't just open up in Firefox as different tabs now. However, some of them still do, like I think YouTube here. Nope, that one does. There was one, was it Blogger? Yeah, Blogger just opens up in Firefox. We also have a proper taskbar up here, so we can get access to the various windows that are opened up. And by this point, Firefox was updated to version 3.0. The theme again is very, very Mac-like. I know I'm kind of a broken record with that. And one of the cool things is they added Wine support, so you are now able to run some Windows applications just right out of the box on this thing, which is pretty neat. You got your desktop switcher up here, you have the Nautilus file browser once again, although the main focus of this release was the addition of Google Gadgets. I mean, version 3.0 was literally called the Gadgets release, and then of course 3.1 built on top of that. So you've got you know, a few of them here just on the desktop by default. You can see most of these don't really load anything anymore. This just, whatever this was, has given us a 404. This weather gadget here doesn't appear to be loading anything. We got this flowers one, which I guess is just more of a like cool little thing you can have. Yeah, virtual flower pot, so you can just like water your flowers and stuff. You got a calculator, you got a calendar. Up here in the system tray, you can click on this icon to hide and show the gadgets. We can right click and go to add to get access to the gadget browser. I'm sure most of these in here, you know, especially if they pulled data from, you know, some server somewhere, probably aren't going to work anymore. Like the weather globe, I think we just, oh, and we can't even add that back. Can we? Can we not add any of these? Even the virtual flower pot, which we already have. Okay, well, there's Google Calendar. So I think we had this one open before. That's back. Yeah, yes, we did. Okay, so that still works. Google Gadgets Calendar. So, okay, we have two different calendars. It looks like, okay, we already have the calculator, but we can't add it. Maybe that's because we already have it. But like Wikipedia search, we don't have. Digital clock, we don't have. We can't get that. So it's looking like you can't even really download. And oh yeah, okay. Well, there's Google Calendar again. So you can open up multiple instances of the same gadget. Yeah, it's not looking like we're going to be able to download any of these, which is rather unfortunate, but not surprising considering that Google Gadgets has not been a thing for many years now. But, you know, if you were using this back then, you would have been able to add as many of those as you wanted, you know, of course, that your CPU resources would allow. I do want to explore some of the menus again. Like, I'm curious about the system preferences. It doesn't seem like there is a dedicated system preferences menu anymore. I mean, well, there is just this list here, but you know how in the early two versions we had like a dedicated program where you could go in and view everything. It doesn't seem like that's the case anymore. These are all just separate panels now. That's also the way it was in the MySpace release as well. So you got all your preferences here, you have administration stuff. Now, is this dock the same dock from the 2.0 beta release? I'm not really thinking it is, because I just tried to drag something off of it, and that did not work. Can we right-click? Well, we can do that, whatever you want to call that. So you can't like get to a menu from here. Okay, I finally found it. It's the WBAR Conf program that is in accessories. This is where you can change what's in the dock. So this is totally different from the bar that we had in all of these other releases so far. You can go in here and like if you want to get rid of Gmail, we can do that, and you have to hit refresh. And okay, look at that. So hitting refresh, apparently I did not change anything else but removing Gmail. Now we have an outline on the dock. Yeah, look at this, background image. So there was an image before, I guess, that was like making it transparent, because I guess there's no transparent setting, so they just took part of the wallpaper and put it there. So now if we go and change this over, no, never mind. Okay, so how do we get rid of, maybe if we hit refresh? There we go. Okay, so I guess you have to go in to, like when you change the wallpaper, you have to go into the dock settings, hit refresh, and then it will get rid of that like outline there. But that's interesting that it does that. It kind of like takes part of the, actually it looks like this is for the magnification, because you can see when I hover over these, nothing goes outside of this box. Even like the bar there goes, you can faintly see it, but it goes to the edge. So it like takes part of the desktop and then uses that as like a background image, I guess, to just layer the magnification on top of. So then you would have to go in and hit refresh every single time for it to like redraw that. And we can set the Skype logo as the background image, which is oh yeah, Thunderbird. Let's do that. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, look at that. Oh, and that's straight up the macOS mail icon. It's called Thunderbird.png, so they were straight up taking icon. I mean, I'm pretty sure that looks like it. Why don't we change, let me change this back to the OS bar pack, and then change the Firefox icon to the Thunderbird one, because now I'm curious. That looked exactly like, yeah, that's literally the macOS mail icon. They just grabbed that from OS X. That's hilarious. I don't think Apple would be too pleased about that, guys. But hey, they can't really do anything now because this operating system hasn't been a thing for years now. Like I said, this was the final version that came out in January of 2009. And it was around that time when the people behind GOS started work on another operating system called Cloud. Just Cloud, not Cloud OS or anything like that. So they're going with a really simple name here. And the really fascinating thing about this is basically Chrome OS before Chrome OS. I mean, the whole operating system looks to be just a web browser. You have shortcuts down here that I assume are going to open up just other websites. There is this boot to Windows icon, and you have your power controls over here. And it said it was optimized for netbooks. And this was in January of 2009. That is before Google announced Chrome OS, which happened in July. And this appears to be the last thing that this company did, at least on their website, because this is the final snapshot that I was able to grab from the Wayback Machine on October 1st, 2010 that still loads anything. After that, you just get this site temporarily unavailable error. And today, if you go to thinkgos.com, you just get a 404. Now, I think I already know the answer to this question, but if you guys would like to see a video about Cloud, assuming that I can find any ISO images of it, be sure to let me know, because I've not looked into this any further than just this like kind of surface level stuff here for this video, because it was kind of beyond the scope of what I wanted to do. But it looks like there was a laptop that sold with this, and I'm assuming Windows as well, because I mean the fact that you have this boot to Windows option, it kind of makes me think this was going to be something like Phoenix Hyperspace, which Cathode Radio did a video on a while back. Those like pre-boot operating systems. There was one that I vividly remember using. I think it was from HP, and it came on a HP laptop that my family had at the time, and it was, yeah, this like little, you know, miniature OS that you could boot into before Windows loaded. So if that's what they were trying to do here, that would be pretty cool. Well, this right here certainly doesn't look like a good sign. It says currently pre-installed on specific hardware only. So I'll have to look and see if I can find this, or hey, if anybody watching happens to you know, have some more information about this, be sure to let me know, because I'm definitely interested. But that is pretty much going to wrap it up today. That is a run through of GOS, the Google-centered operating system, not actually made by Google. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If So, okay, yeah, we're gonna try that again, just for the heck of it. Actually, before we do that, since it's just gonna kernel panic, this dock also has audio jacks, as you can see, for microphone and headphone, and I have a pair of USB speakers. So, first of all, let's see if we can even utilize the internal ones on the iMac. Okay, we got internal speakers and USB audio codec. So, okay, we've got the speakers. It's has mute checked. We don't want to mute it. Oh, we gotta just, you know, slide it up. Yeah, okay. And oh my gosh, it works. Okay. So yeah, built-in speakers work. Fantastic. This is the coolest scenario in which I've heard these sound effects. I'm not even joking. Like, this is just blowing my mind. I know, like, how poorly this runs on here, but it runs without any, like, modifications needing to be made to the OpenCore Legacy patcher. I mean, that should tell you how incredible that this tool is. Well, I don't really got much else to say, except for let's try Ethernet again and see if we just get an immediate kernel panic. So, we are going to plug it into the... I just forgot what this is called for a second. The Thunderbolt dock. Yeah, that's what it's called. And we'll see if we just immediately panic here. Oh, we just froze up. Mouse pointer is not moving. Alright, yeah, we're doing a forced restart because, I mean, hey, it kernel panicked the first time, it froze up the second time, it didn't seem like we were recovering there. I did give it a little bit of time, and yeah, so we are just loading back onto the desktop here. But I think this is a pretty good stopping point for this episode because it has gone on incredibly long, longer than I would have liked for sure. I mean, well, I know you guys didn't really see the whole thing, but I have been spending a ridiculous amount of time troubleshooting all this stuff, not expecting anything to work, but just wanting to have something to show you guys. So yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up my 2-week-long effort to get macOS Tahoe Chrome OS Flex on the Chromebook Pixel. Hello everybody, and welcome back to yet another Chrome OS related video. This time around, we are going to be revisiting Google's prototype CR48 Chromebook from December of 2010. This right here is a pretty fascinating piece of Chrome OS history because it was the very first piece of hardware that was sent out to reviewers in a pilot program. And now I made a video on this thing back in 2021, and ever since then I've kind of had this idea of trying to restore this machine back to its original software version because it's currently running a version of Chrome OS from 2017. And I was reminded of that recently when I made my video on trying to put Chrome OS Flex on the Chromebook Pixel, because the official Chrome OS recovery tool still has an option for restoring the CR48. And then I received a couple comments from some of you guys asking me to try that out on video, and well, that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. But the thing is, I don't think that this method is going to put the CR48 here back to its original OS version. I think it's more than likely going to set it back to the latest version of Chrome OS that this thing is capable of running. But either way, we're going to find out, and if it doesn't set us back to the original OS version, I was able to find an old Chrome OS recovery image from 2011 that we're going to try to manually install on this thing, which, yeah, it won't be the original OS release, but it will still be pretty early, and it'll be neat to compare that to how Chrome OS looks today, because it is vastly different, I mean, from what I remember messing around with Chrome OS a little bit back then. So let's go ahead and switch over to my Windows computer and get this process started. And here we are with the Chromebook recovery utility opened up. This is something you can get from the Chrome Web Store, and I've got a 16 gig USB drive plugged in, so we'll click on Get Started, and we're just going to select model from list and choose Google as the manufacturer, and then Google CR48, there it is. So we'll click on Continue, we'll choose our USB drive, click Continue, and then it's going to create the recovery image. Although, what are the advanced options? Let's see. Okay, we can choose a recovery channel. There's only stable, so that doesn't really matter. But yeah, there's nothing in here about like what, I mean, I guess this right here might be the version number. Yeah, that's the platform version, and this is a release of Chrome OS from 2017, which very well might be the version it's running right now. Yeah, and would you look at that, we're currently running platform 9000.82, which is older than what we're currently burning to the USB drive, so this is a little bit out of date, but it's not like that newer version is going to really make much of a difference, because this hardware is just not supported anymore. You see, they try to encourage you to upgrade there. Now that I think about it, I wonder how Chrome OS Flex would function on this thing. Maybe that's another video video idea, but let's just try to burn that older image manually and see what we can do. So when I was looking for recovery images online for this thing, I came across chrome100.dev, which just looks like it's got a repository of a whole bunch of Chrome OS recovery images. And if you do a search on this page for the CR48, you can click on see more, but you'll notice here that the earliest release they have was modified in February of 2015. So that's only a couple years older than the latest version that you can get from the Chrome OS recovery utility. But I was able to use the Wayback Machine to pull up this old recovery page for the CR48 from 2011. And this has a whole guide of, what you're supposed to go through to restore your CR48 back to factory settings. And they have a link here to a recovery image, and if you click on that, they do have it archived. It's from July 21st, 2012. So I initially thought it was from 2011 just from the date of this page, but the actual file is from 2012. And when you download that, you get an archive file, you extract that, and you get this bin file. And we should be able to just use a tool like Win32 Disk Imager to write this to the USB drive, but we will have to change the file extension here to .img, which shouldn't affect anything. In fact, the guide here just tells you that you might have to manually rename the image file to end in IMG to use a tool like Win32 Disk Imager with it. So with that downloaded, we're just going to browse for the file, which will be on our desktop in this folder. There it is. So we'll open that up, and drive K is the 16 gig USB drive that I've got plugged in. So we'll click on write, and we'll see if this works. Right after a quick word from today's sponsor, Boot.dev. If you've ever been even a little bit curious about programming, they have what I think is the coolest way to learn. Their entire platform is designed around an Eclipse before you subscribe to a membership, which is cool. So the restore process, from what I've read, is actually very straightforward, because all you have to do is just, of course, plug in the USB drive. So that's going to be on the right side here. So we'll do that. And then if you lift up the CR48, there's this little reset button right here that you have to press in with a paper clip before turning on the machine. So I'm going to press that down and then press the power button. And then it boots up to this screen where it actually tells us to remove all USB and SD devices. So I guess we'll unplug the USB drive, and then please connect a recovery device. Okay, so I guess we were supposed to boot off just by doing that reset thing first. We'll connect a recovery device in there. Now we are, checking for an official recovery image. Found, validating official recovery image. All right, looking good. So it's beginning the system image copy now. This will take some time. And it's completed. It's asking us to remove the recovery devices and reboot, and it will automatically reboot in 2 minutes. Okay, so it's got a pretty long timer there. So I'm just going to honestly wait the 2 minutes just to make sure it doesn't need to, finish anything up. Well, that's not a good sign. It just brought us back to the recovery screen. Yeah, hopefully it's not missing or damaged, but we're going to just do a forced power off, I guess, and try to restart, hopefully actually boot into the system. Yeah, okay, this is not looking good. I wonder if this button, did I jam this button down? Let's see. Nope, that is not forced in. So apparently the version of Chrome OS on here now is damaged. But I mean, you saw it was able to verify that it was a valid image. So I don't know why that it's not able to boot from it, but it's not able to boot from it. So I guess we'll plug in the USB drive again and have it go through the recovery process once more. And let me actually press, so Control-Alt F1 through F3, which I'm guessing is going to be these three keys here. Or, well, let's see. Okay, there we go. So now we can actually see all the verbose messages of what it's doing. Although, do we have to do that again here? F2... Oh, I see. Okay. So it's like different modes. So F1 is just the standard display, and then F2 shows you a little bit more, and F3, I guess, shows you even more. It's copying kernel, copying root FS. Let's go back to the first one. Recovery's beginning. It, again, checked for the official recovery image. It completed validation, and then now it's beginning system image copy. Maybe this image wasn't made for the CR48. I mean, I downloaded it from the recovery page, from that archived page that was for the CR48. So it should work with it, But I'm thinking maybe like it sees it as a valid Chrome OS recovery image, but maybe it's just not for this computer, which seems weird because it literally had CR48 in the name, or Mario, which is the internal name for this. But yeah, this all seems fine. Beginning system image copy. This will take some time. Okay, I saw it said that it finished, and this is like it counting down right now for the sleep timer, or not the sleep timer, but the reboot timer. So it's doing that, and it'll automatically reboot in 2 minutes. Dev SDB3 can now be safely removed, which is the USB drive. So, okay, let's try to just power it off, which I guess you can do. No, see, I don't want to like force power it off. I guess you can, but like, I don't know. I mean, do you press enter to reboot? Like, there is no reboot key. It just says, please remove and reboot, but it'll reboot automatically in 2 minutes. Yeah, that's not good at all. I thought this was going to be simple. See, this is again me getting way too optimistic for a video on this channel. But yeah, it seemed like everything was working fine. Like, where's the problem? I guess, I don't know. Let's just plug it in here again. I'll let it go through this, just not touch it. And I'm gonna do some research on the system behind me and see if I can figure something out. Alright, well, as it turns out, it looks like I'm not the only person trying to restore my CR48 back to factory settings, because somebody posted on Reddit as of 1 month ago, which is pretty crazy, asking for the original recovery image for the first version of Chrome OS, and somebody replied with a link to this Blogspot article, or blog over on Blogspot. This post was made on December 18th, 2010, and it's a guide showing you how to restore your CR48 to factory settings. And what's crazy about this is they link to the recovery image from Google, and this is still hosted on their servers. You don't even have to go through the Internet Archive at all, but I did confirm this is the exact same image that we already downloaded. Yeah, so you can download this image from Google. I tried just for the heck of it to download this one, burn that, or write that to the USB drive. I even tried a different USB drive and went through that recovery process again, and the exact same thing happened. So I thought, okay, maybe there's something else going on here. Well, then I found this other Reddit post of somebody asking for the original BIOS for the CR48 prototype Chromebook, because in this Reddit post here, somebody mentioned like, hey, this probably isn't going to work with firmware updates since it was released. And I said, huh, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe the firmware on this thing was updated and it's just not able to work with this older version of Chrome OS. So I thought maybe the BIOS had something to do with it, and then somebody mentioned that the original CR48 wiki, although it's gone now, has been archived by the Internet Archive. So you can just go here and download the entire wiki, all the files that were hosted on it, which is awesome, or you could just access it from the Wayback Machine, which I did here. This was over on wikispaces.com, and this is a very useful repository of just a whole bunch of information relating to the CR48, how to put other operating systems on it. Maybe that'll be worth doing at some point. And sure enough, they have a guide here showing you how to flash the BIOS, which the first part of that is showing you how to put an alternate BIOS on it. But then if you scroll down here, they show you how to restore it back to its original factory BIOS, and they provide bin images for both of the CR48 models. Mine is a Pony model. I love these model names, by the way, that they're coming up with. But the unfortunate thing is this requires you to install Linux on your CR48 and then use flash ROM to write the BIOS image, this bin file here, just on the device itself. Now, installing Linux is a whole nother can of worms, and the first thing it tells you to do is put your CR48 into developer mode. And this was the first time that I'd heard that mentioned. I was like, huh, developer mode, I wonder what that does. Well, setting your CR48 to developer mode requires you to take out the battery, and there's a little piece of tape that you can remove, and there's a switch under it that you switch to enable developer mode, and then you put the battery back in and turn on the computer. And notably, on first boot, if it's in developer mode, it will wipe itself and replace the image with a developer copy. So that got me thinking, huh, maybe I could just try that, and we'll see if it can just do like an on-system restore and maybe get past whatever problem that it was having. And believe it or not, that actually worked. So here we are in Chrome OS version 0.12.433, blah, blah, blah. There's the whole version string down there. So yeah, we're going to go through the setup process here and see how far we can get. So it looks like we do have to select a network, so we'll just connect to my Wi-Fi network here. Can we just disable Wi-Fi? I'm curious if we can like just go No, yeah, we have to connect to a network, I guess, to be able to advance through this. And yeah, now we can actually click on continue. We've got our terms. Sure, Google, you can collect some hardware data from this thing. Why not? And of course, it's immediately going to check for updates, which is what I was kind of worried about and why I didn't want to connect it to the network. But it very well may not be able to get any updates because, you know, those servers might have migrated, which is what I'm hoping for at this point. We'll have to see if, you know, if it tries to update immediately, we'll try and see if there's a way to bypass, you know, that network requirement at the beginning. Oh, and it just went right past that. Okay. So I don't know if this is actually going to work. There is a guest option down here. Yeah, let's just do that for now. We'll just sign in and browse as a guest. And oh my gosh. Yeah, this is back when Chrome OS was literally just a full screen web browser. This is crazy to see today because, I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, Chrome OS looks so different now, as I'm sure you guys know. But yeah, this was my first experience using Chrome OS. I actually messed around with this in a virtual machine. I want to say in like 2009 or 2010, before this hardware even existed, you could download like, they were sort of like Chrome OS distros. There was one called Chrome OS Cherry, and it looked pretty much just like this. It was a full screen web browser. But we can go in here, view the about information. Yeah, let's just see what we got. So this is firmware Mario Chrome OS 0.12.433.99 official build beta channel, Google Chrome 12.0. Oh my gosh, that is so freaking old. And it's checking for updates once again down there. Well, it thinks it's up to date. Okay, which, yeah, that's actually kind of interesting. I would think if, you know, it couldn't connect to the servers anymore, because they've probably been migrated however many times since this was released, that it would tell you, like, it couldn't establish a connection. But it thinks it's up to date. But yeah, these are all the settings you got. Yeah, you've got like some touchpad settings, and then under internet, this is where you can choose what wireless network that you're connected to. And yeah, this is so cool to see, because I've been wanting to do a video. Like, I was trying to find, like I just mentioned Chrome OS Cherry, I've been trying to find an image of that for months now, and I just cannot find one. All the links that I found are completely dead. It hasn't been archived. I wanted just to fire that up on an old computer and mess around with old Chrome OS. Little did I know, all I had to do was restore the CR48 to factory settings. And again, this is not the original OS, but it's certainly pretty close to it. So let's see if we can just, you know, go to google.com. I mean, we are on the internet. Of course, Google is going to load fine. We can try to go to, let's just go to YouTube and see. I guarantee you it's going to have, oh yeah, it's going to immediately complain about, you have an unsupported browser. Please download something, which, how did downloads work on this? Because I don't really think there's like a file browser. Okay, yeah, but you can view downloads here. Okay, that's right. That's right. It was literally just this download window that, this is exactly how it looked in Chrome back then, I'm pretty sure. So if you try to download something, it'll show here. And then I guess when you clear all, it just goes away. Does it delete it? Of course, we are in a guest session, so that's going to limit some, so like there's certain things you can't do, even today in Chrome OS, like you can't basically save any of your settings. As soon as you leave the guest mode, it just, you know, resets it back as soon as you log into it again. But let's see if we can even just go to YouTube. I know I'm kind of bouncing all over the place, but I'm genuinely excited, like, to, even though this is probably a pretty boring OS at this point, it's just crazy to see this again. It's been so long. Yeah, so YouTube, not surprisingly, does not really want to work. It's trying to load. You can see the like outline for the thumbnails and the video titles and everything, but I can't click on anything. And the page has finished loading according to Chrome. Of course, you know, we can go to the old net, a classic that we must do on this channel. And yeah, of course, that page loads up just fine. So, okay, just for the heck of it, I highly doubt this is going to work, but let's try to exit this guest session and log in to a Google account and see if this still works. The thing is, I do have two-factor authentication on here. Before signing in, please start a guest session to activate the network. What? I was just in a guest session, and we are online. What the? Okay. All right, you know what? I have a feeling. Let me just type out some gibberish here and sign in, and it does that exact same thing. Okay, so that confirms that it thinks we're offline trying to sign in because it can no longer authenticate. So that just straight up doesn't work anymore. So you can't even sign in to a Google account on this old version of Chrome OS. Good to know. But what happens if you try to create one? Yeah, so it just loads the page in the guest mode. Well, what else is there to talk about? We can go back into settings here and I guess explore this a little bit more. We already saw, yeah, basics, personal stuff. You can change your account picture and stuff like that, which this, you know, wouldn't save or anything. Oh yeah, and there is a camera, so we could do that. And there's the camera, so that works. Pretty cool. Let's cancel out of that. I'm still kind of curious about the whole download stuff, because I mean, obviously nothing saves here in guest mode, but like if we go to just Google and then go to the download page or save page as here, it will come up, okay, yeah, with a, like we can view files here, and then we have file shelf and external storage. Okay, so if you plugged in a like USB drive, you could view that there. So there are ways to open up like a file browser, but this is all you get. So the file shelf will save that, and then how do we access, I guess it's under to show all downloads, but nothing even showed up in here. Like, yeah, I don't think there's a way to view the file browser. Let's just open this Google image in a new tab and save image as. Okay, well, it shows up in here in the file shelf, but let's save it as, I don't want to save it as google.html, and I wasn't paying attention to the file extension. What is it, a PNG? Yeah, so we'll save, maybe we can't save it. Oh, there we go, now it showed up. Okay, save. There we go, now that showed up in downloads, show all downloads, and then there it is. Show in folder. Okay, so you can get to the file browser like in a full window here. And I guess, yeah, can you just type / in here to open that up? No, you can't, but I'm thinking you might be able to use like the file extension or just the file : / prefix, but we got to figure out what the, like what's in file shelf here. Okay, downloads, so let's try that. File / downloads, if I can spell right. No, we can't even do that. So you have to download something and then click on show in folder for you to actually get to this. Because I mean, yeah, nothing even shows up here in the Omnibox when you're in this page. So yeah, that is, you can make new folders and stuff too and do all that kind of stuff. But I mean, like I mentioned, in fact, just to verify that, now that we got some stuff downloaded, let's exit the guest session and see if it wipes all that. Yeah, and it is wiped. So file shelf and nothing in there. So it does get rid of your files when you're in the guest mode, which makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much wraps it up for this actually successful video. We did hit a little bit of a bump in the road, but we got it working in the end. And now this old CR48 is probably as close to its original state as it is ever going to get, unless of course somebody's able to come along someday with the original restore image. Even still, I think this is awesome just to see the Chrome OS in this really, really early state, because it doesn't even look like the same operating system nowadays, just, you know, from how far it's come. But yeah, if you guys found this one interesting, definitely be sure to give it a thumbs up, get subscribed, maybe consider becoming a patron or a channel member to get early, sponsor-free access to my videos before anybody else. But either way, I just want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. So is it possible to run modern video games on Windows XP? Any sane person would probably just say no, because why would you ever want to spend the time doing that? Well, it actually might be more straightforward than you'd think, thanks to the OneCore API, which among other things allows you to run modern Windows programs on XP and Server 2003. I already made a video on this, but we're going to be revisiting it today with the specific goal of seeing if it can turn Windows XP into a viable platform for some of today's most popular games. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So if you missed my original episode on the OneCore API, essentially what I did is I tried it out on a more realistic setup, a Windows XP era system with Windows XP era hardware, and then tried to throw a couple of modern programs at it, which in the end resulted in not all of them running properly just due to hardware limitations, but I wanted to stick to XP era hardware for that video because I felt that was just a more realistic setup, something you would actually be running the one-core API on. Whereas today, this is an extremely unrealistic setup because we're running Windows XP Professional x64 edition because, I mean, well, of course, the system has to be 64-bit to run any of these modern games in a virtual machine on my modern Windows system that meets the requirements for all of these games. So essentially, we're not going to have to worry about hardware limitations today. I've selected 5 video games, some newer than others, but the one thing they all have in common is they don't officially support Windows XP. And just to pull up system properties here, this VM has been configured with 24 gigabytes of RAM, so I think we'll have plenty to work with there. And yeah, this is an i7-7700K, that's what I have in my main computer. Definitely a little bit on the older side now. I built the system in 2017, but like I said, all of these games run just fine on, you know, Windows 10 on my host system. So we're going to begin by just installing the one-core API. So we're going to go into the x64 folder this time and just go through the process. And there's actually been a new version released since I last checked this out, version 4.0.1. So we're just going to agree to the terms, have it install, and hit finish to restart. And just so we don't have to copy everything over to this VM, I'm going to install Firefox. And of course, when we try to run it, we get an error message saying that it needs Microsoft Windows 10 or newer, which is because we have to go into Properties, Compatibility, and choose Running Compatibility Mode for Windows 11 24H2, or we could select Windows 10 if we wanted to, which is just, again, it's really cool how the one-core API, you know, presents itself, how this works. It's kind of neat that it just integrates in the compatibility mode list, but it's funny seeing a Windows 11 compatibility mode in Windows XP. So we run that, and you see now it opens up, and it should be ready in a few moments. And, okay, we get another error message. Let's try OK to start over. Well, we're already off to a great start, aren't we? Firefox may actually not be working. Let me maybe try Windows 10 as the compatibility mode. Alright, I guess I'm gonna have to try something else. Well, that is the 64-bit release of Firefox. Maybe the 32-bit release would work, but we're gonna just try Google Chrome here. Of course, that's gonna error out again, but we can go into compatibility here, which we're gonna be doing a lot throughout this video. And that just immediately crashes too. Alright, well, we got Chromium to work, so we're just gonna get rid of all of these installers and just pretend that none of that happened, and hopefully that won't be, you know, setting the scene for the rest of the video here as we go along. So, we're gonna begin by downloading Rocket League, which is not, you know, the most popular nor the newest game on this list, but it is one of my favorites. So, we're gonna go here, we have to download the Epic Games Launcher. And so yeah, a lot of these, you know, we're gonna have to download this launcher. I've got some Steam games that I want to try out. So not only do we have to get, you know, the games themselves to work, but we also have to get, you know, the launcher application to install as well. And let's just see if we can run it without any compatibility mode filters applied. Installation package cannot be installed by the Windows Installer Service. You must install a Windows Service Pack that contains a newer version. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty expected. So let's go to Downloads. Go into Properties here, and yes, okay, this is something I actually missed in the last video, but so this is an MSI file. You can go into the Start menu here, All Programs, Accessories, System Tools, and there's this Windows Compatibility tool, and this will allow you to choose a compatibility mode layer globally across the entire system. And speaking of systems, today's sponsor Boot.dev has a great system for teaching you how to program through their interactive learning platform that feels like an RPG. If you've wanted to learn back-end web development in Python and Go, Boot.dev's unique approach helps you gain skills to advance your career while keeping you from getting bored in the process. So as you advance through each programming course, you'll be earning XP and achievements, as well as completing quests to aim for a top spot on the global leaderboard. Plus, the whole thing is entirely self-paced, so that you can take however long you need on each programming challenge with in-depth guidance along the way, so that you actually feel like you've learned something new. And for those times when you get stuck, they have viewable solutions available, an active Discord community where you can ask for help, and their spellbook feature, which provides a cheat sheet of links and notes that you unlock as you advance through the lessons. On top of all that, Boot.dev is confident that you'll like what they have to offer, which is why they back everything with a 30-day, no questions asked refund policy and give you a free demo of every course before you subscribe to a membership, which you can do by clicking the link below. And if you use code MichaelMJD at checkout, you'll get 25% off your first payment. So be sure to check them out, and huge thanks again to Boot.dev for making this video possible. So this should set the compatibility mode for MSI exec, which should mean that we can run this and... okay, no, never mind, we get the same error message. Alright, so, well, there is this other tool in here which looks to allow you to change, like what the operating system version is reported as. We only have up to Windows 10 as a preset. That should do it for us. Of course, we might have to log out. Let's just see if that... no, that does the same thing. But what does that, like, report if we go into properties here? No, it doesn't change anything in there. Let me maybe try just to restart the system. Well, nope, that doesn't work. But if you were curious, in WinVer, it is now reporting the version number as 10.0, build 19045, from that whole preset in here. But, you know, we can change this, like, I think we can just put whatever we want. So, like, if I want to do version, like, 22H2, build 19045.5487, and well, there is no SP version or SP string, but let's apply that. And does that take effect automatically? It does not. Okay, so we should be able to log off and log back on. I don't think this requires a full restart, but maybe it does. All right, it might require a full restart. Nope. Okay, so maybe you can't enter in whatever you want. I guess maybe it's only going by the presets. I mean, I feel like there's text boxes here for a reason, but yeah, I mean, you saw we put that in, hit apply, it didn't take effect. The compatibility tool, I wonder if we run like MSI exec from the command line. So we'll set it to Windows 11 24H2 and then go to CMD MSI exec, and then what is it, /I? Yeah, okay, /I, and then it's going to be C:/documents and settings. What is this, administrator? Yeah, I'm just going to copy this whole name here. But this is just like double clicking on it, right? It doesn't change anything. Yeah. Okay, well, here's a post on the GitHub page where somebody was having this problem. And this person said, if it says Windows installer requires a higher service pack level, then it requires a Windows installer version higher than XP can support. If it tells you that XP is not supported, you can enable compatibility mode globally for the whole OS. Okay, so this confirms what I was saying earlier, by using the Windows compatibility tool, which is what we did. And this person says that this is the screenshot they got, which, if we try to run this again, is the exact same thing about the Windows installer service, just so you can see. You need a newer version of the Windows installer service. And then this person just says you can get the zip version of whatever they were trying to install and get that manually. And yeah, this was apparently trying to run Minecraft. So yeah, that's not good. If they say this is the issue I got, and then they say, okay, well, just forget trying to do it that way and just download this other thing. And again, the problem is with the Windows installer, not necessarily the version number that's being reported. In fact, I'm curious if we go and we turn off the compatibility, like if we just set it back to XP Service Pack 3 and we go back into here and set this back to XP Service Pack 3, and that did apply. So let's try to run this again, and let's see if we get a different error message, like about the Windows version number, which looks like we get the exact same thing. This installation package cannot be installed by the Windows installer service. You must install the Windows service pack that contains a newer version of the Windows installer service. And I'm not sure if we can just install a newer version of the Windows installer, you know, that's not designed for XP through the compatibility layer. Maybe that would break something. But what the heck, I guess we can try it. Now, it doesn't look like there's a redistributable for Windows Installer 5.0. That comes with Windows 7, Server 2008 R2, and later client and server releases, including Windows 10. And I guess Windows 11 as well, or maybe there's even a newer one. But you can get 4.5. So yeah, let's just try to grab it. Oh, and it says right here, it is released as a redistributable for the following operating systems, XP and Server 2003. So, okay. Let's just download it, and we have to get the Windows Server 2003 one. Oh, it's no longer available. Isn't that great? Alright, well, let's see if the Internet Archive has it. Yeah, because I was thinking, like, I've definitely installed the Windows installer, like, 4.5 on Windows XP, so, yeah, we can totally do that. Download links are below, and we need to get the... what is it? Server 2003 that ends in V4X64, which is this one right here, download. Okay, well that just apparently didn't even go through the Internet Archive, so let's go back here, and now that we have the direct link, we can just paste that in here and hope they've got it. Yes, they do. Okay, so let's go and grab that from May 22nd, 2012. Alright, let's copy that over. And again, we don't have any of that applied, right? Yep, so the no system-wide compatibility layers. Let's just see if we can run this. Okay, version of Windows you have installed does not match the update you're trying to install. Oh, wait a second. No, because, I know exactly why, because we're currently reporting, yeah, through this thing, we're reporting XP Service Pack 3. Like, how do we remove this? Okay, deleted all environment variables. Okay, yeah, that sets it back for us. I wonder if that was conflicting with it. Nope, it wasn't. Okay. Maybe it's already installed? How do we check the Windows installer version? MSI exec question mark? Yeah, version 3.01. Oh, wait a minute. You know, did I set this to... Yep, I definitely set it to Windows XP Service Pack 3 before, didn't I? So, Server 2003 SP2. Will that do it for us? That's exactly what it does. That was it. Okay. So XP X64 uses like the same kernel and everything as Server 2003, so it uses like the same service packs, and that's why, like, you know, over here, when we had to get this file, even though it's for XP SP2, which, I mean, there is no XP Service Pack 3 64-bit, but it just says for the 64-bit, get the Server 2003 file. So, okay, yeah, we have to set it back to reporting Server 2003 Service Pack 2, and that allows us to install it. And I guess that did it. Yeah, it's going to restart. Alright, so I'm curious now now that we don't have any of the compatibility layers applied, what happens when we run this? Do we just get the same exact thing? Holy cow, that was it! Yeah, let's just hit install and... yeah, okay, awesome. Oh no, it ended prematurely because of an error. Now, that's probably fine, because if we go back and... I mean, it doesn't say what the error is, but... I mean, did it drop like a log or anything? It didn't even drop a log anywhere. Like, not in here anyways. But if we set this back to Windows 11, system-wide, I wonder if that will allow us to get through this. So let's see. Oh, it did the same thing. Ended prematurely because of an error. Your system has not been modified. Okay. Yeah, but, like, it doesn't mention anything about a log. Like, why? Like, you don't drop a log anywhere? Come on. By the way, I already realized that, I mean, I have over an hour of raw footage. I don't know what the final video time is going to be, but I realize we're this far into the video and I haven't even run a game yet. But hopefully that'll change soon here. But it's not looking good. So... okay, maybe, I mean, I don't really think at this point the version number matters. I mean, we could set this back to that Windows 10 build, which is an older build, but... I mean, it is running, it's just not finishing the install. Yeah, it keeps ending with some error that it doesn't tell us what it is, which is great. Well, I'm reading the Epic Games help article on this, and there's a few reasons why you might get this error, or, well, we still don't even know what the error is, but I mean, why that the launcher may not install. Of course, this all assumes you're running it on a modern version of Windows, so it's like, I don't really think any of this is going to apply to us. But they do mention using MSI exec to install the launcher, running this as an admin from the command prompt. You know, I highly doubt it's like a permissions related issue. It mentions hard drive space. We have plenty of that, just so you can see. This is a 100 gig virtual drive here. We're only using 7.74 gigs. You know what? Just for the heck of it,